Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.
Good evening there, Miss Belgard.
Hello.
All right. Well, we are live right now, so anything we say, it's going to be held against us. So we're going
Have to be careful.
you have to be careful right now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk. I'm Jack, and tonight we're going to be speaking with Miss Stephanie Belgard, the organizer of a candlelight vigil for the National Day of Remembrance for murder victims. This is such an important conversation for our community. We always remind our listeners civic engagement matters. And with that, I mean getting out there and registering to vote, to make sure your vote and make sure you can hold our elected officials accountable. Tonight, I encourage everyone to engage in this broadcast by commenting with your questions, liking, and sharing, so more voices can hear what we're talking about. And I think, Ms. Belgard, this is kind of like my third or fourth year participating in this event. And, it's something that I won't miss. You don't even have to call me. You just need to call me and tell me, look, Jack, it's on X and I'm going to be there. All right.
Well, that's a deal then.
All right. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and jump directly in. Well, first, go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience, and then we're going to jump right on in there to the questions.
All righty. Well, my name is Stephanie Belgard, and I have been doing the National Day of Remembrance for probably about 10 years or so. It started way back in 2007, and I could tell you a little story about how it started. Charlotte and Robert Huliger had a daughter, and their daughter went off to college in Germany, and she was studying abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And she met a guy there, and he was abusive to her, and she wanted to break it off with him. Well, when she told him that, she was going to break it off. Now, this is back in 1978. He beat her to death and came back family in a body bag. And the reason that September the 25th is the National Day of Remembrance is because it was their daughter Lisa Huliger's birthday. Was September the 25th, and that was a way for them to honor their daughter. So in 2007, they went and asked the House if they could make this a national remembrance for all victims of murder. And so that's why September the 25th was chosen, and that's the day we do it on every year. So that is a little special way to remember their daughter. I mean, they didn't want to remember her on her death date, so what better day than her birthday?
All right. Now, tell us, do you mind telling us a little bit about why you are committed to this project every year?
Well, I have 20 years of experience. My daughter is Courtney Coco, and she murdered in October the 4th of 2004 is when they found her body in Texas. And from that moment on, my whole life has changed. And for 17 years, we had no justice for my daughter. And I fought and fought for justice, and I never, ever gave up. And I always kept trying. And I would remind the police, hey, it's her birthday, it's Mother's Day, it's Christmas. Y'all have any leads, or what are y'all doing? And so I just got involved, and me being involved, helping other people, helps me to heal.
Mhm.
Now, 3 years ago, we did arrest, and I know people say, well, at least you got a little bit of closure, but I really can't call it closure because I'll never see my baby girl again, and you go through a lot of loneliness and depression because of it. So this is a way for me to keep her name alive and help other people keep their loved ones' names alive.
Mhm. Wow, I tell you. So, Ms. Belgard, can you begin by sharing what the National Day of Remembrance for murdered victims means to you personally and to families who take part in it?
Well, like I told you, I lost my daughter, and
Mhm.
I became a victim's advocate.
Mhm.
I joined the Parents of Murdered Children, and I kept I helped as many people as I can, and I go to all the national conferences. Well, I say all. I've missed a few,
Mhm.
but I've met people all over the country
Mhm.
in many different states that I've formed very good relationships with and lifelong relationships with, as is here in central Louisiana. And the thing about here is I tell people about how many murders we have in our town, and it floors them.
Mhm.
It, like in some places like Oklahoma or different places, they hardly even have any murders. And so it just, I guess they need victims advocates in this town,
Mhm.
because there's not anybody really you can turn to unless you have a trial date. And if you don't have a trial date, or you don't have a solved murder, then you're just like thrown out there by yourself and like try to figure this out on your own. And nobody really reaches out to you. So that's where I try to come in. And when I know of a newly bereaved mother or a family, I try to reach out to them and at least just give them my phone number, and say, hey, I'm here if you need to talk, or if you need some advice, or whatever I could do to help you. So
Mhm.
I take it near to my heart.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us about this year's Candlelight Vigil. When and where will it take place, and what people should expect? Uh,
Well, usually we do it on the courthouse steps at the Rapides Parish Courthouse.
mhm.
Here it's under a lot of renovation, and so usually where we sit on the steps and put our chairs, there's big dumpsters there, and they've been there for a while, and they will be there for a while. So I started kind of brainstorming, and someone suggested to me to try the Alexandria Fulton Mini Park. And it's located right in the middle of downtown Alexandria, where they do all the winter fete and river fetes and all that. And it's right across from City Hall on the courthouse steps. And the address is 1015 3rd Street.
Mhm.
And I ask, it's from 7 to 9 p.m. on September the 25th. That's a Thursday evening.
So we have lost Miss Stephanie here. She should be able to come right back into the studio. Again, what we're doing is we're talking to Miss Stephanie Belgard this evening about the National Night of Remembrance of victims of uh, murdered victims, and we're talking tonight about their annual program where they will. How are you? You're back, huh? Let's see. I'm not hearing you. Yep, you need to hit your mic.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I had my phone on Do Not Disturb and it still rang through.
It happens, and we're in this digital world, so real stuff happens. And
Yes, well, like I was saying, it's on September the 25th on a Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. And I tell people to bring a chair if you want to sit, bring a picture of your loved one to put on our memorial tables. Sadly, our tables, we now have 4 tables. And if you want to like wear your loved one's shirts or show their favorite colors or whatever, this is about remembering your loved one and their memories. And at the end of, after we have a couple of guest speakers, a few guest speakers, and then after the guest speakers speak, then I read each and everybody's name. And I have over 200 names on my list this year. So I don't want to leave anyone out. And so why I'm on that subject, if I do not have your loved one's name and you would like for your loved one's name to be said, leave a message right here on Urbancast, or you can private message me on Facebook at Stephanie Belgard, and I will get your message and return your call.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We have a little candlelight vigil, and you can bring your own LED lights, no open flames, but we will be furnishing the LED lights for families.
Okay. Well, I know when you said bring your T-shirts or in your pictures and things of that nature, you can also bring your sneakers or tennis shoes as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. If you cannot stand, there is a little cement wall there at the mini park where you could sit on at a little grassy area with a little cement ledge that you could sit on, but it would probably be more comfortable in a lawn chair.
Okay. All right. So lawn chairs, you could bring those as well, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. If someone has and you hit up on that just a few seconds ago, if somebody had lost a loved one to violence and want their names included in the remembrance program, all they need to do is they could either DM us, add their name right there in the comments on Urbancast, and you're gonna pick it up, right? And or DM direct message you as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
And I know it's kind of bittersweet, but it's a much needed service. And being it's at night, it's like sad because we're all there and we shouldn't be there, and we're all connected by murder. And it's sad to see all the little lights. But then on the same token, if you look at all the little lights,
so we lost Miss Belgard again. I'm pretty sure she'll come right back in. Again, we were talking about if you want to participate in the program, if you have a loved one that you guys have that was passed due to violent crime here in the community, you're definitely welcome to participate in this year's program. You can, if you haven't given her your name, all you need to do is add your loved one's name right here in the comments on Urbancast, or you can DM Stephanie Belgard as well. Or you could DM us if you don't want to put it out in the open and things of that nature. But just feel free to do it, and we'll make sure we get that information over to her. Let's see, we're hoping that she's able to get back in here. if she's coming back in right now.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Jack. I'm trying.
We're gonna move. Was that the somebody calling you again?
I've got my do not disturbs on. I just don't know what's going on. But what I was saying is every little light that you see, it's sad, but they represent somebody's loved one that was in our communities, was part of this world, and it's very important that we don't forget them. Many times, I've noticed some people don't want any part. They just want to let it go and leave it alone. And some people get proactive and want their loved ones to, they want to remember them. They want to tell their stories. They want to share their life with others. And so, everybody kind of goes at their own little pace, but when you're ready, you'll be ready. And if you want to come out, that's where we'll be next Thursday, and come and tell us all about your loved one and show us their pictures and come light a candle for them.
Ms. Belgard, events like this helps bring healing not only to the families but to the community as a whole. Because what I know, when we went through COVID, we had to do some different challenging things, but it's like it's a huge crowd of people, and there are people there that have lost loved ones, and there are people from the community that are connecting with the families who have lost loved ones. But you and I were talking earlier today, and we were talking about the idea of the prevention of some of these things, because you have the domestic violence piece, you have just whatever component, but then there are a lot of resources out there to help people, but for some odd reason it seems like those resources are not getting to people so that they can learn about the signs.
Yes, I know what you're saying. Yes, sir. With domestic violence, like you said, there's a lot of information and places that you can go and that help you with different things and your children. Um, there's counseling that they offer you and everything. But with murder, it's like you're just kind of like forgot about. I mean, unless you have a really good detective that is really, really wanting to help you, these things just keep happening, and they're needless and they're senseless acts of violence and it's like almost every week we have a murder here in this town, and there is nobody that tries to like help the families. Nobody. I mean, like I said, if you have a detective, that's about the only person in your corner you have.
Mm-hmm.
And many times, you're failed by them. And this, I'm not wanting to bash anybody, but I'm just saying the truth. And there's many things that need to change, and all these guns that these young kids are getting into. I don't even know how you would even get a gun, as at a young age. It's hard to get a gun when you're, older. And our leaders, they need to step up. They need to try to help. They need to try to get a control on some of this violence that's going on. There's something that has to be done, because this just can't continue. We've got people that don't even want to go out at night.
Right.
We have people that close it down their businesses early. I know I used to have a little support group, and there was some women that wouldn't come because they didn't want to get out after dark. And it's just a shame, and it just continues to go on with no end in sight. And it seems like nobody is trying to help get a cap on this violence.
Right.
So it's a sad situation.
It really is, and I mean, it went and it. You know, a lot of times people say the family, but you know, people perish because of a lack of a vision, and vision typically comes from, you know, leaders who are strategically looking to put things in place um, to move our communities forward. And
Amen.
yeah, right, right,
Yes, that's what they should do as leaders, is try to push our communities into a better place than what we
mhm,
are now.
right.
Um, there, there's many things that they could try to do, and get out, at least go talk to the families. I know I have a notebook that I keep, like, every murder victim that anyone's told me about. I have their death dates, I have their how old they were, I have contact numbers for these people. I reach out to them personally. I've got memorial boards that I put up. I try to talk to them or find out if they have children or children. And, at least I'm trying to make a difference, but I'm just one person.
Right, 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 right. How can members of the community who may not have lost someone to violence still support the families and be a part of the vigil?
Well, if you haven't lost someone to murder, then you're blessed and you're lucky, because
We've lost Miss Belgard again. If y'all just hang, there she is. She's coming back in pretty quick this time. Uh,
um, that people are going through this. So what I could suggest is reach out to them and just let them know that, hey, is there anything I can do, or do you need some help with the children? Or many times there's, if you're lucky enough to have a trial, many times that's, you go to the trial and it's postponed and everything's delayed and all these courts are backed up, and you're just drugged through and drugged through. People's having to miss work to go. And so I would say offer a hand, offer to babysit, maybe cook them a meal. um, Reach out to someone. And if you see kids or young people or someone doing wrong, stick up for someone that they're doing wrong too, or try to change it if you can.
mhm.
I know anytime I get a chance to talk to any young kids, I always tell them, it you know, this music and the movies and everything kind of idolizes violence and stuff like that. Well, you've got to realize that it might be cool for the minute, but when you're sitting in prison after you made a mistake of doing something stupid one night, you're paying for that for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
And I think you got to get them while they're young and try to get them turned around. Not all murders are young murders, and not all murderers are young, but I'm just, many of them are. On
Mhm.
my little list that I was telling you, I have all their ages. I mean, it's nothing to see 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds being murdered, and the same age groups committing the murders.
Right, right, right.
It's a shame.
Mhm. What do you hope, Ms. Belgard, that the attendees walk away with after being a part of this remembrance?
Well, I hope that they feel like they are not alone,
Mhm.
and that this is a tragedy that has affected their life.
Mhm.
And if you would just know how many people are affected the same way as them, it lets you know that you're not alone in the walk. And many, many people in this community have broken hearts and hurt. And at least you maybe can share some of that hurt with them, or talk to them, mother to mother or father to mother, or it's not just moms, it's sisters, brothers that are losing loved ones, and they need someone to talk to also. And many young children, like say you had a sibling that was murdered and you're a young child, like 6, 7 years old, many times the young children are forgot about. No one has to get them any kind of help or counseling or anything like that. They're overlooked. And they have feelings too, and they're confused on what happened to my uncle or my brother. So coming to this event is a way to you to look around and know that you're definitely not alone in this walk, and that your loved one's name is not being forgot about. And sometimes I even do a little list of missing people at the end of, and you never know who might know something. Many of my names that I read are unsolved murders. Never know who might know something or has gotten older and might want to say something or help, in solving something.
Right.
Because we have to stick through this together as a community and help each other.
So when is the event again?
It is September the 25th. It's on a next Thursday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. And bring a picture of your loved one for the memorial table, and we will furnish the little LED lights unless you have a special one you want to bring on your own. And air if you want to sit. And we will have some bottles of water for anybody that needs water. And if you have my flyer on your page, my phone number's at the very bottom of there. If anybody needs to get in touch with me, and make sure that I have your loved one's name, because that has happened before, and of me forgetting to say someone's name, and it hurt me bad, and I just don't want that to happen. So if you're there, I want to be able to say your loved one's name loud and proud.
Right. Now, did you have anything else before we get ready to get out of here this evening? Did you have anything else that you needed to let the public know?
No, sir. I just want to say, keep your loved one's memory alive. Never let people forget who they are. They are still your children. They've just gone on before you, but never let their memory fade. And if you have an unsolved murder, never give up. Keep going. Don't let the police forget about them, and keep their name out there.
Okay. Wow. That's very important. Ms. Belgard, thank you for joining us tonight here on Urban Cast, and for the work you are doing to support the families and honor the lives of their loved ones. To our listeners out there, we definitely want to say thank you for engaging with us this evening. If you shared a question, made a share, hit that like button or whatever, we definitely say thank you. It's stuff like this that we definitely need to make sure we get it out and pass it around. As always, we definitely want to thank our partners, Saddler's Towing, Loans Product, Legendary Kung Fu and Tai Chi, and United Wrestling Entertainment for their continued support of programs like this. And again, Ms. Belgard, we definitely want to say thank you for doing the work that you're doing in the community. And you're always welcome to come over here to Urban Cast and help get that, and we will definitely try to help get your word out for all of the things that you guys are doing out there. Again, good evening to everyone out there.
And we'll see you on Thursday, Mr. Jack.
We will definitely see you on Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. And if you can hang in there right quick.
Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.